On that, we're going down to the field, guys, with Lawler and a special guest for the game call.
Thank you very much, Gibbs. And we are down here at sunny old DFH Stadium for the first game of this double elimination bracket. How are you doing here, my friend Lawler?
How could I not be doing fantastic? I have not the one, but the only Shogun.
Oh, yes. It feels good to be here, man.
Dude, after 6 years, you are finally here. What's that like?
Don't make me emotional. Okay, don't make me...
Make him cry, guys.
Yeah, don't make me cry. Not on stream. Not on stream. We're not doing that on stream today. We are here for the biggest day in not only my life, but a lot of people's lives. This will make some lives for some of these players if they can get themselves through to next week's regional finals, where they can play for that 10K. All they got to do, though, is win 2 games right now. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
that
no pressure, right? That's all they have to do. Just 2 games, right? No big deal. Biggest stage of their lives. Like, you talk about how it's important for some players, and we're talking about Prem. Prem came in after last week, 1 week of being able to come together, and that's very difficult. There's some teams that need even 2 months after you have those, finals kind of end up, and these guys are trying to figure out, okay, honeymoon phase, is this just going to be a situation where it goes through? Like, what's going on? So you're going to see these players come out. Prem basically this is his tryout chance. He has a chance to make a name for himself.
And we've seen a lot of teams come through. We saw last season the greatest substitute of all time, over Zero, coming out huge, but you don't really know at this stage. You haven't had enough time to really practice. Luckily for these teams, they've had 2 weeks to get themselves ready for this tournament. Has it been enough, though?
No.
No.
I have, and it's bad to say, Genesis, they played in a tournament last night. They played in the Market Street League, and they looked unstoppable.
Yes.
They didn't lose a single match that entire time, and then they have to come back and try to carry that heat. Now, did they go out in flames? Are they going to use all that, good voodoo, I guess?
Ooh, I like the voodoo.
Yeah, do you feel the voodoo?
I always feel the voodoo, but this is important. We will be able to check out Prem. He will be the one to watch, along with Espion on the other side. It's going to be interesting to see how well Genesis do, how well Revival do in this series. It's going to be very important for both of these teams. Let's get ourselves into this. So the ball going to be played over to Mill. Espion with the clearance away. Going to try and get himself set up. A nice block there against Prem, and Hot Wheels Sid going to try and get that one backwards. Going to be playing that one just over the top. Nice clearance there from Espion. Or Geno Cop, I should say. Prem gets that one cleared across.
Early in the season, we saw Hot Wheels Sid, and oh my goodness, a response from Espion coming across the middle. Just ball centered in front of the field that's played perfectly in the middle. Classics putting a touch back down to Espion, and then a shot on net, beating that last defender out.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good shot. The player that was highlighted earlier on, coming up big just to start off this match, only just starting the match as well. We're under 30 seconds into it. And Genesis taking the early lead. That's going to be an early ball played away, but Geno Cop, nice clearance over to Hot Wheels Sid, who gets off that backboard. Geno Cop, going to try and get some more into that, but Classics with the clearance away, going to try and go a bit further over to Espion. Just trying to keep that pressure on away from themselves. Hot Wheels Sid almost managed to hit that one into Prem. Lucky that didn't hit the side of the car, otherwise that could have gone into their own net.
Yeah, good recovery though by Prem, recognizing that ball was going to come right back at him. Gets up on the wall and tries to clear it out. We need the chemistry of Hot Wheels Sid and Geno Cop to come through. We saw it earlier in the season as Chrome then finally got that comfortability and becoming a name of himself. But this team really needs to rely on that as Prem kind of gets used to the pressure that's going to be coming with this kind of stage.
Espion clears it away, but Hot Wheels Sid sees that one coming. Very important there to get that one away early as Geno Cop with the doink puts it up high. And Pluto clears it away. Espion just wants to keep that one away from Geno Cop, who's putting pressure onto that. And now Prem has to get himself back with Espion barreling down the middle. That's going to be put up high, only over to Pluto. Pluto shot to target, 2-0. And Genesis looking strong.
We've been seeing this all week out of Pluto in community tournaments, and he's not stopping anytime soon. Gets up from midfield and then puts a shot perfectly across the net. Hot Wheels Sid nowhere near to be able to get across and make that save in time. Beautiful shot by Pluto, putting them up by 2, a minute and a half gone in this game.
Yeah, it was a very difficult situation for the defense to be in. Had to put it somewhere with Espion right in front of them. But now Classics misses that one. Espion in retreat and able to help him out as a reinforcement as Geno Cop tries to get that one before Pluto, but not able to. Prem gets himself up, but beat to it by Espion. Here comes Hot Wheels Sid, tries to put the shot onto target. It's going to be immediately cleared away, not even wanting to deal with that wall back shot as Espion tries to get it away, only over to Geno Cop. And we're seeing now Genesis being forced back, but that is entirely down to Revival's increased pressure. They're putting themselves in that final third. Geno Cop shot to target. Oh, not
just
in.
wide!
Classics tries to get that one away, but Pluto now forced to even further. Revival know they need to get a goal nice and early. This is the early part of this series, but losing the first one by any sort of large stretch could make it very difficult to recover in future games. This is a very momentum-based game, Rocket League is, as Hot Wheels is unable to get the block onto that, but still that offensive rotation is so high up, and Prem's got a chance. His shot, not enough. Pluto gets rid of it.
You see this pressure coming up from Revival. We talk about how momentum-based it is, and they're doing everything in their power to kill it, but a shot on net, saved by Prem.
Yeah, they need to make sure they don't go forward too much, otherwise they can get caught out and be put 3-0. As Espeon's still up with Pluto. He's going to pass that back over to Classics. Classics was looking for Pluto, but I don't think Pluto is quite prepared for it. So no extra shots coming from that. Still 2-0. There's 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the match. Espeon, he's got a shot to aim at, or just a bit too much work for him to do. And now Prem with the clearance. Classics doesn't want that bouncing off the backboard. As Hot Wheels Sid on his way back because he sees Pluto coming in. Now Classics, he's got a chance at this one, but he's got Hot Wheels Sid just in front of him, refusing to let that move happen. Here comes Espeon once again, not getting the contact he wants. In that case, not even getting any contact, but that was the contact he wanted, taking Geno Cop out of the game.
Both these teams getting in the face of each other. Another shot on net, saved by Geno Cop. These guys just putting shot after shot. We have a battle here.
Yeah, Geno Cop and the rest of the Revival looking much stronger in the second half of the game. You start to wonder, where was this earlier on? But it is important that they seem to have figured this out now. Even if they do end up losing this, they've still got time to come back into it. But even if they do, at least they now know that if they play like this, they can really take it to Genesis.
Yeah, ever since they made those adaptations and started applying that pressure, this game has not seen any more goals, just back and forth. But now the pressure of Genesis coming in and putting shots on net. Follow-up from Espeon getting a goal. Just that 1-2, using that backboard so well. Classics getting in the face of Prem, puts a contest on, bounces right back in the middle. Pluto up early, and then a backboard hit, draws out that last defender, shot on net. They're up by 3.
And we were talking about how important it is that Revival are looking more strong in offense. At the same time, they still didn't get any goals out of that. Not only did Genesis manage to soak up that pressure, but they score another one to add on top of it. That is going to be demoralizing for the Genesis squad. So the ball now played off the backboard. Pluto tries to get a little bit onto it, but not quite enough. Prem clears the one over to the middle. That means Classics can put some pressure on, but eventually cleared away. Those passes into the middle of your own goal. Ill-advised at best, as Espeon and Pluto pretty much in the same position, but they should get away with this. We start coming towards the end of this match. That's an open goal to aim at until Geno Cop gets himself in the way, but Pluto's still in the right position to keep that pressure going. And that's a little bit of a flick on from both those players, and that is going to be the first goal. That's not how Revival imagined their first goal here.
No, they didn't, but it worked out in their favor. You see Geno Cop just hustling as much as he can to get in front of it, and then the pressure, that pinch coming out from Hot Wheels Sid off the defender of Genesis, goes all the way downfield. All that pressure upfield can cause a defensive mistake. Nobody back on defense because they're just trying to keep rotating and just kill this time as much as possible. I'm glad they're not letting up on that pressure, but they also need to be careful. Don't give away those free goals.
Yeah, do not drop this at this point. That would be detrimental. So much left to play here. Even if they do win this series, they've got to go on and win yet another one. You have to do work to get yourself into next week and over to Amsterdam, as many has seemingly taken to calling it. Espeon clearing that one away over to Classics. Classics off that backboard. Going to go for an extra shot. 4-1. And it's the 3 goals. Going to be the difference coming towards the end of this match. That is quite significant heading forwards.
Genesis just looks so comfortable. That shot coming across, Classics applying that pressure. Gibbs mentioned on the desk how Classics needs to help out Espeon with that offense. Putting himself in the way, even if he misses that shot, just the follow-through that can follow up after that is what makes this Genesis team so detrimental. They haven't lost a game yet this season to any of the teams other than the 2 that have already qualified for LAN. So they're trying to keep that title.
Certainly are. We are going to see the end of the first match of these qualifiers for next week. Genesis looking strong. Pluto, it wasn't really talked about too much here, but coming up with those mechanics, and it seemed like an entire team effort. Yes, Pluto's got all those points, but that's mostly from saves. Everyone on Genesis coming up big.
Yeah, we talk about how there's certain teams, like Revival has always been that team that's touted where the stats don't really show it. They don't have like the most goals or the most shots or anything like that because it's spread evenly across all players. Yep. This Genesis squad does that, but they also have the stats to pad it. They look so strong right now.
They really do, and that was a fantastic first game for them. But Revival, towards the middle there, we actually finally saw what we needed to see from them. But even then, Genesis held on for the entirety of it, didn't concede. They conceded that one towards the end, but that wasn't the period of pressure. It's going to be interesting to see what Revival can put forward because we haven't actually seen them crack this defense yet.
Yeah, I think a part of it has to do with Prem. Like, there's a couple touches Prem is making where he's just, there's no confidence. There's nerves. There has to be.
Yes.
And playing at this kind of stage, that stuff will eventually settle as this match progresses. But do they have the time to let that happen? No, they need to come in and really prove a point. Like, Prem has so much pressure on him right now, and he needs to understand that do or die. Like, you have to do it now.
It really is, and that is the most difficult bit for absolutely every single player around here, is that it has to be done right now. There is no other choice. You get in this week, you can be a little bit comfortable because you are confirmed for LAN, but it's this week, and you have to do the work.
Back and forth between these two teams. Seeing how Game 2 is going to handle Prem and Pluto up on this kickoff.
So ball going to be played over the middle. Prem actually convincingly winning that, but that's going to hand the ball straight over to Blues, or at least it would have done. But very adamant, and that is going to be an easy goal. We were asking how, okay, nothing going in. I don't know how they took so long to take that shot, but Revival, their best opportunity to take the lead early on in this match, and they completely fluffed it.
I mean, we talk about how Pluto is good mechanically. I don't think he meant to use the other car from someone on the other team to make that save. He literally bumped someone on offense. I think it was Hot Wheels Sid into the, and it cleared out. Like, I guess that's one way to get creative.
It certainly is. It means it's still 0-0 after what was a very bizarre start to this match. Now Espeon going to go for the 1v1 play. Almost works, but it's not a 1v1, it's a 1v2 because Hot Wheels Sid comes in and takes it away. Espeon and Classic's now trying to link up. Classic's going to play that one towards the orange half, but that should be easily cleared away by Prem. Looking for Hot Wheels Sid. Classic's tried to read that. And now Hot Wheels Sid keeps going. Going to get that one over to the side, but Pluto still refusing to have anything easy come towards this Revival squad. Played off the backboard. Gino Cop shot onto target. Already saved by Pluto, but two players went for that. Espeon passes that one out, but Prem's going to cut that one away. And first one over to that is going to be Pluto over into the corner.
Yeah, you see, and credit does go to this Revival team. The recovery has been phenomenal. Shots one after another going in front of that net, and just the recovery. And then the team clears. You get them working around the players with this misdirection. Pass played up, and then usually there's someone there waiting to make another hit inside. And that continuation and pressure and how fast they move the ball is allowing them to go toe-to-toe pretty much with this Genesis team.
We're seeing a lot here from Genesis. They try and link up together, try and get some passing plays going, try and add a bit of dynamicism to their play. As Hot Wheels Sid gets that one away. Pluto actually has to run away from someone trying to demolish him. Manages to turn himself around just in time to get rid of it. As Espeon still upfield, Classics just gets blocked away by Hot Wheels Sid. Now Gino Cop 1v1 against Pluto, just goes for the rugby tackle. Didn't quite work out.
Really well played by Pluto as well. Last man back has to be the one to make that save. Rather than pressing it, putting himself in a terrible position for that 50-50, he backs off, waits for the attack, and then pressures it just so his team can help recover. Really well played and smart play by Pluto.
Classic's going to get himself up high, but so is Espeon. Espeon's actually going to try and look for the second touch. It's the reason for that jump up towards the end there. Now Classic's nice tap over, looking for Espeon. Espeon shot onto target. Played over into the corner. As now Gino Cop and Prem both brought themselves out, but Hot Wheels Sid sat on that goal line, meaning he was nice and safe. As now Prem shot onto target, safe there from Classics. And there's going to be another one coming in, but that should be saved. There's two players there from Genesis. Get something else on. Now Classics tries to take it down to the other end. Still Revival struggling to break down this defense properly, but it's still a 0-0 game. And that is going to be a shot to target right into the middle. Hot Wheels Sid get it over.
What a shot by Hot Wheels Sid. One play over that defender of Espeon, and then following it up like with no hesitation. Gets up, puts that shot in perfectly on net, right underneath the crossbar, making it so nobody can make that save. What a good turnaround.
Yep, just right over the top of the defender. No chance of getting over to it. And that's really important now to Revival, especially after how much of a one-sided game that the first game ended up being, at least in scoreline. To be able to go ahead here is very important, but now they have to try and hold on to it, or even better, try and capitalize on it and go even further, as Classics and Hot Wheels Sid both seem to fake each other out on that. And Espeon's got an open goal to aim at. 1-1. That goal lead was not long-lived.
He is so good. One touch beat out Gino Cop. Classics actually missing that, draws out another defender, and then making sure as soon as he lands to go for a quick touch over the top, just flicking it right over that last defender to put it at a goal. We have a tie game, 2 minutes left in game number 2.
Yeah, and that first touch completely took out Prem. He thought it was going to be played across the floor, ended up coming forward because it was played high. He had to try and get himself back. Didn't work. As now Classics going to try and look for Espeon. It's a nice shot onto that. Classics just make sure of it.
Shot on net, and Classics, like you said, we talk about goals being stolen. No, that one was secured. Yes. There was still a defender, didn't want to waste any time. You saw Gino Cop coming in, Probably wouldn't have made it in time, but why risk it? Put that shot on net. This game, so crucial. Don't leave anything to chance.
Yeah, there is nothing as a goal steal at this level. This is so important that just make sure it's in. Even thank them for the fact that they hit it, even if it was absolutely certainly in.
Oh, don't go that far. I'm not thanking my teammates for taking my goal. There's no way.
That's because it's rare for you.
Hey.
Pluto tries to get the shot over.
There's that EU banter we're looking for.
Hooray. Classic's now going to play that one over to Espion. Over into the corner, but it should be Prems. But Espion, once again, getting the blocks into this. Almost got the pass over to Classics. Classics ends up skying it. I don't think he expected Hot Wheels Sid to miss that. And everyone now over in the corner just going for the rumble. Boys, mayhem was about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that was so smart, though, by Espion. Espion wasn't going to be able to make it to the ball, so he sees Genocop going up, and he just jumps up, completely stops the pressure in the change of pace. They're trying to move that upfield, but they're able to keep it on their offensive side in favor of Genesis. And now the pressure, they're just going to back off, recover. Why go for a risky play when you can go back and then move together as a unit?
Yes,
just good decision-making by Genesis.
This rotation's been really good so far, as Espion now might have got to get himself back. He's actually come far too far forward, but Pluto just there in time with the clearance away. Thought for a second that Espion had just come forward a little bit too much. As Classics trying to go for the setup. He's getting extra touch onto that, but Hot Wheels Sid on him like a shot. As Espion now trying to just go for the setup. They keep trying to use this corner, but every single time Revival have it scouted. But that's not the important bit right now. The important bit is this 30 seconds for Revival to get a goal, otherwise they go 2-0 down. And this is not going to help. Classics takes it away from Espion.
That shot could have been in, just trying to create something that he doesn't need to. He needs to rely that his teammates are going to be there to follow up. But I got to give credit to Hot Wheels Sid. The way he's moving this downfield, he's making cuts on the ball, trying to keep them in it. But with 5 seconds left, it's going to be tough.
Prem's got a chance here, but not quite in on time. Espion trying to go for the clearance, ends up missing it, and now Pluto clears that one away. And as long as this touches the floor, which it will, that is 2-0 now in games to Genesis, a closer match. But it seemed as soon as that first goal went in for Revival, Genesis turned it on.
And that's something that I'm glad to see they're not leaving it to risk. Like, as soon as that happens, they understand what happens when they control the pace. And you're seeing that out of Revival as well. As soon as Revival gets that pace going, they get comfortable with how the ball's moving on their side of the field. It's shot after shot after shot, and Genesis looks scared when that happens. That's what Revival needs to do. They need to apply that pressure and keep these guys on their back heel. Otherwise, Pluto and Espion are just going to do it to you. Yeah, it's going to be really important for them to make sure that that offensive rotation comes back out. They look really good with it in Game 1. They look really good in Game 2, as we just saw. But the stats are not quite coming up. The defense isn't quite there, because we can see that one save, that means the moment pressure was turned on, they just seem to crumble. They need to get that pressure back up. If they can't defend, make sure it never comes into your half. Right, and we talk about how important defense is, and a lot of that defense does have to do with being at the midfield. When you're playing defense, the best thing you can do is just prevent the shots from happening in the first place, and you have to meet them at the ball rather than letting them bring those clears downfield. And that's been the problem, is they do bring it downfield really well. We talked about how they're getting misdirection in the backfield and then using 2 players to bring it up. But after that happens, where's the follow-up? There's nobody there. It just gets played right back at them. So they need to keep continuing on with that pressure in order to pretty much give themselves a chance. One more game, man. That's all it takes.
One more game. That's really important, because they now have to reverse sweep Genesis, a team they lost to 3-1 earlier in the season. It's going to be so important now for that to see what adaptations they will make, because whatever they're doing right now isn't working, but they can't afford to overdo it, because how are you going to be able to sustain such a huge change over such a long period of time? So now Pluto tries to clear one over into the corner. Prem going to end up missing that one. Hot Wheels Sid with a shot, but that should be easily cleared away by Espion. But only over to Prem yet again. He's going to try to go for the setup. That's a really downfield demolition. That was off screen almost. That was almost seemed just completely pointless for both teams. As Genesis get that one up. And Genocop, I mean. Well, now played over to the side. Hot Wheels Sid. Just trying to put some pressure on. Not quite anything all that creative though, until we see Classics and Espion start to combine together, combine their powers to try and come up with their Genesis' first bit of offense today. As Pluto gets that one up high, both Espion and Classics go up. And are they going to try and put this together? It's going to be very difficult from that angle, and they're not quite going to be able to, but they have got it in that final third. As Pluto shot onto target, almost into the far corner.
That save by Hot Wheels Sid coming across. And then not only does he make that save, but he puts it in a position, but the defense breaking down. Genesis getting themselves a goal. You see the way this is played up. Espion pressuring so well, and then that clear being missed by Hot Wheels Sid. One play after another, and then just this domino effect where everything just breaks down and that ball settles in front of the net. no way they're going to miss that one.
Yeah, you use the word there, domino effect. That is absolutely correct, because not only did that happen, but as soon as Hot Wheels Sid looked like he was going for the ball, Prem left the goal. He was in the perfect position to save that, but as soon as he thought Hot Wheels Sid was going to get it, he just went, okay, we're good to go. They can't afford to be jumping the gun like that. I understand it's important to try and get some goals, but you were 0-0 at the time. And now Classics and the rest of Genesis might try and build upon this as they get a good early lead in this match.
And you see that a couple times even on defense. Like there was a time where Hot Wheels Sid and I'm pretty sure it was Geno Cop both went for the save. That's fine. Like sometimes committing 2 players on defense is scary because it draws one of you out. But at the same time, if you need to make a save and you're not sure if your teammate's going to get it, back them up. Rather safe than sorry.
Espion and Pluto are going to try and work together to try and get this ball out after the pressure from Hot Wheels Sid. Classics up high as Espion tries to go for a block on that. Not even trying to win the ball, just straight up trying to get that ball away from the defender. And that's going to be launched long. And Classics eventually coming into camera shot to get that one away. Passes over to Pluto. Pluto does a lot of spinning into the air, but doesn't do much hitting of the ball. As Espion and Geno Cop both ramming it into the ball together. Here comes Pluto yet again. Nice pass over. Classics and Espion both went for that ball. That means Classics got to get himself back nice and quickly as Hot Wheels Sid puts the pressure on. And now Geno Cop just going to try and put that one off the sidewall, but no one from Genesis taking the bait onto that one, just letting it fly over to the side. Everyone's going to miss that. Pluto getting to that one before Hot Wheels Sid, though. Very important. Now the long shot from Pluto. Almost no one back. That's off the backboard. And taken away by Geno Cop. Espion just lingering in the background there, just making sure if that became loose, he was in position to try and turn that one in. Geno Cop out of nowhere off the backboard. Prem just too high.
Oh, it's got to be so rough for Prem. Had the opportunity, just needed to angle his car down, but another shot on net saved by Espion.
Just starting to see, once again, that revival pressure coming out. And when they do this, they look so terrifying to play against, but once again, not able to get it through, not able to get that final result. Hot Wheels Sid by himself, passes over to Prem. Prem! Oh, he hits that post!
I can't believe he did that. Hot Wheels Sid slowed that down and just took his time. So smart, not letting the pressure of this time get to them. But then that shot, those need to go in. Prem has got to be feeling that pressure.
The build-up has been fantastic every single time. The result, the final grade is just not there. Pluto there, ready for a shot, just about doesn't get the contact he wants. But still pressure coming out, still a tight game here. Revival can bring themselves back. They should have been back into this already as Prem tries to get himself a block onto that, but one out by Espion before Geno Cop with the clearance away. Pluto and the rest of Genesis will happily leave this in the final third of Revival, but not going to be allowed to for that much longer as Classics has to win that one out. But Geno Cop's going to beat Espion to that. That leaves just Pluto left to defend, but he does a good job of it. And now Prem puts that one over into the middle. Geno Cop gets that one up high, but Pluto's leading around, and Pluto's actually chosen not to go for that one. And it's ended up being a huge mistake anyway, but they've got away with it because Revival, yes, it was a bit of a cluster to try and get around, but here comes the shot just in. Hot Wheels Sid. Finally, Revival have found a way through.
I thought they were going to screw this all the way down as Hot Wheels Sid, and you see Prem actually trying to move up. Hot Wheels Sid had a free breakaway on shot, but Prem's in the way, and it blocks it. Luckily for him, Hot Wheels Sid settles down, brings it downfield, and then flicks it back inside. Just making sure to put this in a way that they can tie it back up. They have a chance still, 1 minute left.
There's got to be some sighs of relief there as well, because to lose out anyway, oh, don't do it like this. Espion puts off the backboard. How much boost has he got? Almost enough. Tried to get himself up high, but wasn't able to get there in time. But as I was saying, just especially the way they conceded that first goal, that's not how you want your RLCS dream to lead yourself into the lower bracket. You must try and put up a fight here as Prem actually takes that ball away. Now he's got to try and deal with pressure from Espion, and Classics just hits the crossbar, but here's Pluto into the net. They weren't able to deal with it. Too many people in the middle to play.
It's so difficult when you have to shadow these players. You see Prem trying to recover and get in the way, goes up and takes it, he's in the net and just flips carelessly. Like there's nothing he's doing there to help out, and it's so difficult as the pressure then comes in. One shot, Charles out of defender. Another shot, someone out of play, and then Pluto's got a free, wide open net. Nobody there to make a save. Genesis looking unbeatable right now.
Certainly at this stage, Classics the clearance away, looking for Espion, but they weren't quite able to link up. Now Classics looking for that backboard, and Prem refusing to let anything else happen. They have to get that pressure going early. Hot Wheels Sid tries to beat Pluto, but Pluto with the clearances away, and now we see Genesis very high up here on the rotation, but it's not going to matter. What a shot there from Classics!
What was that angle? That ball contested Pluto gets up and makes another touch over Gino, and then Classics gets up high, flicks around, and then using the top end of his card, hitting that ever so gently back down into the net. They're up by 2 with 11 seconds left. These guys do not want to lose.
They certainly do not, and with that goal, they very well might have punched their way to the upper bracket finals. Here is going to be a 4-1, potentially no, off the post. Pluto with an extra shot, and there it is, 4-1, a scoreline replicating the first game, especially just over at this point. What a series from Genesis, but Revival not looking strong.
No, it's just Genesis doing the right things here and then capitalizing on it. Like, you see the momentum swing, and then they just punish you. You see it in the last 10 seconds here, where just small mistakes, like, yeah, there's a couple shots that could have been made, but during the follow-up, they're just not leaving anything to chance, and that's what you want out of a top-level team. Obviously, Revival showing that they can hang with them, but just they get down on themselves almost. Like, as soon as one mistake goes afray, it just, like we mentioned, domino effect. One after another, these guys just get beaten by it. But still, they have a chance. They're going to drop down to the lower bracket. We will probably be seeing them later, but man, what a match.
Yeah, hat-trick hero there for Pluto, but Classics coming up loud in that for such a player that's been claimed to be quiet at times throughout all of this. But we're not going to dwell on it for too long because we have a desk for that, and we're going to throw over to them right now.
Thank you, Shogun and Lawler. What a game, what a performance from Genesis, who moved one step closer to qualifying for the regional championships going down next weekend. But before we go any further, let's take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay and break down the action from that match.
Wave, I have to say, Genesis looking pretty good. And
Ridiculous.
everyone getting involved on the offensive side. We started off with 2 goals from Espeon, both assisted by both his teammates. They're really setting up Espeon, but then after that, they were just doing a great job of providing goals themselves, with Pluto getting a hat-trick in Game 3 and Classics getting a goal in every single game.
Yeah, but then we saw on the flip side, there was Hot Wheels Sid. He scored all the points on the side of Revival. They scored 1 goal each game. Every single one of them was basically a Hot Wheels Sid solo play, but then these team plays that were coming out from Genesis, we see here, I think it was this one where we had Espeon and then Pluto and then Classics, or the other way around. Espeon, Classics, and then Pluto, and making this amazing setup. It was incredible to watch these guys play. The shot from Classics, where he gets upside down, it was like a Lachinio type angle. Oh my goodness.
And that's what Genesis needs. They need Classics to get warmed up, to get confident on the offensive side, and they're going to be very hard to beat because their defense is outstanding. Only allowing 1 goal per game in all 3. That was a beautiful shot from Classics. And
that was
then
amazing.
Game 2, Genesis won 2-1. That is the 6th time against the playoff opponents that they've won a game by only scoring 2 goals. There's only been 1 game besides that where Vindicator beat Revival 2-1. So Genesis knows how to play defense, and their offense is starting to warm up.
Thank goodness for Genesis, Espeon wasn't as nervous as I was. But, and again, just Classics, I thought, again, just something he's known for and something that he does so well is just playing with speed. And we saw, even in one of the series, where he just got to the ball just before a player blocked it, even though it was likely going to hit the post and bounce out. Classics just got the small touch that set up the goal for him. So Genesis moving 1 step closer, and coming up next, we have Take 3 versus Vindicator GG. Vindicator GG having a little bit of roster changes all season long, but as of late, looking very strong. But we got them coming up next, so don't go anywhere. We got more great Rocket League action coming up next.